This year, 2019, I created a money goal. However, I did not know that this goal was going to come true. So at the beginning of the year, I was at the end of, I was the end of maternity leave, and then I was on maternity leave, and then I finished maternity leave. And there is a huge difference in terms of your financial life when you're in a job, maternity leave, and out of a job. And at the beginning of the year, I said to myself, I'm going to be debt free. I'm going to get rid of my credit card for now and my loan, my small laptop loan. And these weren't vast amounts. I had £1,000 and I had £600 to pay off. And I would never usually get a laptop on finance. However, go back to a year and a half earlier, I had no computer. I had my phone and I had my iPad. However, I needed a device that would load up my website and do social media and do photos, and it just did not work in an iPad. And I did have a Google Chromebook, however, that didn't sync with Apple, so I gave that to my parents. That was my money goal. And I did a great course with Leonie Dawson, which is spending money, but hold on. I did a great course with Leonie Dawson called Money, Manifesting and Multiple Streams of Income. And in that course she had some great printables, and one of them was a chart, a thermometer. And I say this because I've seen this other places. I watched a Netflix season a long time ago called Girl Boss, and she had drawn a big thermometer on the wall, and on each little marking where you'd usually have a temperature, you'd have a number that you want to reach. So I did my thermometer and I put 1,000, then I put 600, I think I put 200 extra just in case, so I had a bit extra. So I coloured in my thermometer every time I saved a bit aside. So this is how I did it. It's simple, though it may not be the path for everyone. So I simply, when I had money come through, such at the end of maternity leave, I had some extra money come, which was a nice surprise, and I kept that aside. And I could have spent that couple of £100 on a new dining table because we needed one, or a new cabinet because we needed one, or other things like that we needed / wanted. However, I just kept it aside, and I kept it aside thinking, okay, nearer X amount of time or the end of the year, I will pay it off. I wanted to make sure I didn't need that money. And then as the months went on, I realised I'd saved money in other areas so that I wasn't left with nothing. I did have a little bit left over if I needed to use it. Sort of like I had some emergency funds, though they are for other things. So I took the leap and I just paid it off. And I'm very glad I did, because I paid off 1,000, and that money almost went to DIY in the home. And by DIY I mean flooring, which is a really positive thing because we did need new flooring in multiple areas of the house. However, had I waited a day or two, that money may have gone. The powers of persuasion of other people of how to spend your money are really effective. And I did spend some money on the flooring, which is fine because it's where I live and I spend a lot of my time. However, I have had a past pattern of spending definitely energy and a little bit of time on doing DIY for a house that was not mine. And although that's the past, I do sometimes think back to that and remember that all of that time for somewhere where it's not yours in paper can be really crushing if you find yourself not there anymore. coming from that place because I've been in that place before. And we women need to have ways to protect ourselves. So, the second one is my laptop loan. So I paid off my credit card, which was actually a lower amount each month. However, it was a bigger amount overall. And I really felt in my heart to do that one first. So I paid off that. And then when I was checking the app, I noticed that even though I had paid it, some interest had been accrued in the time. And when I spoke to someone, they explained that to me. So I quickly paid it off. And then we went through the process of cancelling everything. So it's another thing to watch out for, that you don't have that little bit of interest in the time that you paid it off. And I will say that credit cards do have their pros. Obviously you can fall into the cons if you keep paying the monthly fee and then you're not getting anywhere and paying it all off. So the pros are always listed by Martin Lewis, the money saving expert, in the sense that you have protection over what you buy, even if it's 1 penny on the credit card, and you don't have to go back to the shop. You can go to your credit card provider if you have a faulty item and you want the refund on it. And if you pay it off in full every month, yay, you can maybe even use the cash back, yay! So the second I had was a laptop loan, and it was with my bank, but it was linked with Apple Mac, the Apple iTunes variety. So I bought that, and it was a little bit more each month, so this was £60 a month. And over time, what I've been learning about interest, I could see on my statements that it was really gathering, and instead of me just ignore it, I was like, wow, I could use that £17 interest and go and buy something, or I could save it. So I really had the idea at the end of the year, November, December time, we're in December now, of paying off. And I looked at my bank and I realised that I'd been overpaying myself in bills, and I had a small proportion, a couple of hundred, left in my account. And I also had some rewards I'd hadn't used, so that came into cash into my account. And I had another account with some other savings that I hadn't touched, and I prioritised this over what that savings was for. So I again waited till the end of the month, waited till there was nothing that came up, and I paid it off. So I paid off all my debt this December, and it does feel wonderful.